Isaac and his grandpa had a pretty close relationship, and when his grandpa was diagnosed with a terminal illness, Isaac did the coolest thing. He went and interviewed different people in the family about their memories of grandpa and experiences and growing up, as his kid and all this. And he put them together in what he called a memory box. And he made it like he recorded them saying these things, not just writing them down, actually got their voices, put it together in almost like an old-fashioned radio, like from a long time ago. And so called it memory boxes, gave it to Grandpa. Grandpa's crying, like the whole thing, just the memories and, everything it brought up. Isaac is now making them for other elderly people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He wound up getting a passion for this.
He did. He saw what it did for his grandfather, just how it touched his heart. And so he said, I can do this. I made one. I can make more. So far, he's done 10 because there's a lot of work to it. It's not just building these memory boxes. He actually does the interviews with the family members, puts them together for these people. And so far, he's given 10 to the hospice where his grandfather was.
That is so beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
It makes that person who gets that feel that I'm not forgotten.
Right.
Because you get to a certain age and there's that feeling. Family has moved on. Mm-hmm. They're doing their thing. They're so far away. You're coming to what are the final moments of life. And just to be remembered and not forgotten is such a beautiful thing.
And to hear their voice. It's one thing to see it in a letter, which is still nice, but to hear that voice. If you have a voicemail from someone that's passed on, you never want to lose it.
Yeah, you keep it, right?
You keep it for as long as possible. This is such a beautiful thing.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
I bet Matt Damon did this. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
So they found trash on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
They found trash on Mars. Crazy. So the Mars rover is there, Perseverance. It's going through, and then they see through the imagery as NASA's looking at this. They go, that looks like tinfoil. Let's get the rover over there. It looks like tinfoil. Like, a Martian had a baked potato or something. And they just left the trash out there, wedged into a rock. Sure enough, it is foil. But it came off the spaceship that brought the rover to Mars.
I was like, wait a minute, what now? Okay, so my favorite movie just about is The Martian. I just figured it was left from that, when they filmed
is that the one that Matt Damon's in?
Yeah.
That's why she said Matt Damon.
Yeah, when they filmed it there on Mars.
Yeah, sure. They filmed it on Mars. But it was a landing debris, so it's the thermal material that was on the ship or the rocket, whatever it was, that brought the rover to Mars.
That's wild. And Perseverance has its own Twitter account, which is hilarious. So the rover, supposedly, I'm quoting here, sent out a tweet that was like, don't worry, it wasn't from the baked potato, basically.
Right?
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Miss Linda has some great neighbors. Miss Linda moved into her neighborhood about 20 years ago. And when she moved in, she had gotten a new job and she was paying rent. She paid rent for 2 decades. She gets a letter this year that says, sorry, Miss Linda, but I'm going to sell this house, so I'm going to need you to move. Unless you can buy the house. She's 70. She's 70 now. Yeah. And so she's thinking, there's no way. I can't. Okay. Her neighbors love her. So they started having art shows, bake sales, yard sales.
To raise money so she could buy the house?
To raise money. Now,
what
you think,
great neighbors.
Right? I mean, but it's a house. It's not like they're raising $45. Like, they're raising a lot of money. It worked. She had until June 30th to come up with the money. Still a couple weeks, right? They came up with the money. She bought the house. First time in her life, 70 years old, she has her own house.
And her neighbors helped her get this.
What?
That's crazy cool.
But that makes me think of like your neighborhood. You have a great
She's
neighborhood.
talking about my neighborhood. I moved into a new neighborhood, and all the neighbors help each other.
Yeah.
I've never lived in a place like that. That's just really neat. And what did I do? Go back into the 50s wearing modern clothes?
That's what it feels feels like when you tell me these stories, Rob's next door neighbor, Tom, like your lawnmower broke down.
That was my first encounter with him was he had pity on me. I didn't have a great lawnmower.
And he fixed it.
And he's like, give that to me. And he takes it and brings it back a day later fixed.
Like, what?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Like, I go to the neighbor and knock, knock. Could I borrow some sugar? I don't have any.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This is the moment of truth that somebody is going to find out that they won the His Radio block party. You know, the little karaoke machine that Liz is going to bring.
Teeny tiny.
And then the big sound that we'll bring for all the music and the bounce houses and the slides and the food and the fun. Somebody's winning that.
It's going to happen?
Thank you, Christian and Christian attorneys at law and Macintosh Realty team for helping to make this a reality.
Make it possible.
I'm just gonna call.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're just going to, you think somebody, okay. All right. Hopefully.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I know it's early, but we'll see
Maybe they can.
if they're home and they'll wake up.
Hello?
Elizabeth,
Yes.
it's Rob and Liz at His Radio.
Oh, hi.
Hi, just had a big question for you. Where are you holding the block party?
Shut up.
What? Where you?
Are you kidding? No.
Where? No. Yes. Where are you holding your block party?
I don't. What? At this what? For my swim team?
Yes.
Yeah, girl.
You are
You're
the
kidding.
winner of the His Radio block party.
What? Oh my gosh! They're gonna be so excited.
So where are you going to have it?
I don't even know. I have such a raspy voice because all I did is cheer them on yesterday at their last swim meet, and I'm really like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So they just wrapped up. That's awesome.
How'd they do?
They did really well. It was so cool to see, and like, oh my gosh, I'm like, whoo, so excited.
How old are your kids that are on the swim team?
Oh gosh, we have our littlest one is 6, and our oldest one is 17.
So how'd you get involved with the swim team?
My kids, I have my 2 kids are on the swim team, and like they've always loved to be in the water, so we decided let's try swim team, and they love it. And I just love being part of that whole team because these kids are so it's a totally different thing. They all encourage each other and cheer each other on, and they don't care if you get first place or last place. They'll root you on the whole time, and it's just the coolest thing ever. And these kids are way cooler than I ever was as a kid. So
Well, congratulations. I cannot wait for Liz's karaoke machine.
oh my gosh,
And
my
the-
daughter's gonna freak.
The bounce houses, the food, and all that stuff. So think about it as we get ready for the block party at your place, wherever you're going to have it.
Yes, my daughter can like Lauren Daigle her way all through my house now. This is gonna be amazing.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Sarah's along with us at 800-447-7234. What's going on there, Sarah?
They were talking about an elderly woman in the trailer with no air conditioning. I wanted to help out in some way. I didn't know if she could use a window unit, if I could buy her an air conditioner for her trailer.
Sounds like you've been down that road before.
I have. Actually, I have a friend who her daughter's air conditioner went out yesterday, and my son had an extra window unit, and we gave that to her. But I would love to buy this lady one for her. I can't imagine being without air in her trailer.
That is so sweet. You want to help out like that, Sarah.
And I love your heart.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I hope to hear back from y'all soon so I can help this lady.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's good to hear from Dana today at 800-447-7234. What's on your mind, Dana?
Well, I was riding on the way home from work, and I was listening to your radio, and I heard the prayer, the air conditioner. I recently just came into some money that was a shock and a surprise from my dad dying, and I want to try to help out with that if possible. I don't know what to do.
Well, that is so sweet that you want to help out like that. I'm so sorry to hear about your dad, especially with Father's Day weekend coming up.
It's okay. You know, everything happens for a reason, and nobody leaves this world unless it's God's time. I know that. But he died last year. But just this last couple of months, I found out that he had left me a retirement inheritance. It's starting to come through now. I don't know. I just heard that, and my heart strings were pulled.
Especially with this heat and that elderly woman who is in a trailer
Absolutely.
with nothing right now.
I love that your daddy is still taking care of you. And let me tell you, he's so proud of what you're doing with what you're gifted with.
I hope so, because we didn't have a very good relationship. I'm a recovering drug addict, And I've been almost 18 months clean now. God is doing so much in my life right now, and I'm able to give back now, and I want to, you know.
Dana, you're an amazing young lady. You know that?
Yeah, it's all God. But thank you.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Of all the amusement parks, and our little old Dollywood is number one.
It's not little old Dollywood.
Well,
That's
it's close
a great
to my heart.
park.
Oh,
I
it
love
is.
going with my family.
And there's something to do for everybody because I don't like roller coasters so much. The shows, the games, the other types of rides that are there, the old country fair thing.
I always go into the place where they sell the leather belts and hats.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And try it on? Yeah.
Yeah, knowing I can't afford any of those.
You know-
Some of those things in those parks are like silly expensive.
Oh, silly expensive. I've gone into Dolly's little, it's like almost like a boutique of her type of clothing with all the glitter and all the glitz and stuff. Yeah, it's a little pricey.
Who in the world can fit into that? I mean, if
They
you
don't
go
all-
through the Dolly Parton Museum,
Oh, right.
I mean, her waistline is what? A
17?
half an inch?
I know. They don't all
So
sell them in her
tiny.
size, though.
Oh, good.
Thankful.
Good. Universal, Hollywood, Funland, Silver Dollar City, and Santa's Village, all on the big top 5 when it comes to the parks that are in America that are great to go to. This is from TripAdvisor.
What in the world is Funland?
It's fun. It's a fun place.
I guess.
You'll love it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Father's Day weekend. Well, good morning. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
I got a wedding to go to in a couple of weeks. I think I was going to get my hair cut beforehand, but I might do it at the wedding. That's a trend,
Wait a minute.
to get your
What?
hair cut during the wedding.
During the wedding?
Yeah.
While people are taking their vows?
Not exactly while they're taking their vows, and this is brides doing this. And it's to symbolize a fresh start.
Okay.
And
I
so
get
I
that.
get that. But right before they walk down the aisle, because they want the wow factor, like they have their hair done and then they have a bridesmaids or a hair person come in and like lob off their hair. If you have long hair like mine, like you might take it up under the chin or a pixie cut, like something super dramatic in a lot of the cases.
Oh, really?
And it's just, there's nothing wrong with it
How-
because it's personal preference.
How does the groom take that?
I hope there's a conversation
Mm-hmm.
that happens before that day. So she says, here's what I'm going to do.
Gotcha.
Not that, he should say, you can't get your hair cut.
Well, I guess it depends on how short you get it cut because
Sure.
your hair shapes the way that you look.
Right.
On your head, right?
And I know my husband likes my long hair, even though when we got married, my hair was super short, like a pixie. And so you kind of knew what you were getting into. But to make that huge change, especially, right before you walk down the aisle, I hope there's a conversation.
You would think, right?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So, Andy, you have a good question about it, right?
I got a question to ask you about this haircut thing before the wedding. Is that just for the bride, or is that for anybody in the whole wedding party?
So far, from what I'm seeing, it's trending for the bride. Why do you ask?
My son is getting married this fall, and every time that I see him, he's a auto mechanic apprentice, and he always has that scruffy look, and everything like that. And I thought maybe someone could give him maybe a quick shave if he forgets about that.
A shave and a
You know.
haircut at the wedding. I love that. Just do it, Andy.
Well, I can't. I don't know how to shave my own son. He's on his own now. He has his own apartment and everything like that. And he's only like little 10 minutes away from me, but still, you know what I'm saying? I was just wondering about that because I never heard such a thing.
Tell you what,
Now-
I've got a grooming kit that I use on my Pomeranian. How about I come to the wedding and I'll take
No,
care of it?
No. Not a good idea.
That'd be disastrous, I think.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Coming up today, we're going to be out and about with the summer road trip. The car is going to be, like tomorrow, for instance, Charleston and Bluffton.
Yeah. And next weekend, Athens. It's just going to be everywhere. You can find out at hisradio.com.
Marlene's here, by the way, we're giving away a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we said a thing about that. Just so you
a
know.
car.
Just so you know. So what's your question, Marlene?
Are you coming to Savannah?
Today at 11.
Today at 11?
Yes, the one on Abercorn, parking lot, Chick-fil-A. The SUV is going to be there, the 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. And if you go to that parking lot today, Marilyn, you will get 15 extra entries.
There's no if about it. I will be there.
We will tell Harlan to be on the lookout for Marlene. That's right.
I am curious, if you win the SUV, where do you think you'll drive it first?
I want to go to Kentucky to see the Ark.
Oh, that's a great thing to go to.
Road trip.
I've won a lot of things in my life, but never a vehicle.
Well, who knows? Maybe this will be the year that you win one.
Oh, Marlene driving down the road in the SUV. It's an Outlander. It's beautiful. It's perfect.
You sound like you're getting ready to preach a sermon there.
Did I really? It's an Outlander. Yeah, it is.
Oh, my word.
Was that good? No, that was terrible. I know.
That part was. Oh, my word. You want to win it? Text the word CAR, 800-447-7234.